say what the fuck I do. I'ma let y'all know when the fuck I'm through.
Popular YA books that are worth the read. Will make you cry, so touching. An all guy will always love. Never not be in love with this love triangle. A grilled cheese war? Count me in. Will make you feel everything. Auto by author. To teens in the wedding business equals cuteness. Telling you if popular BookTok books are worth it. Part 5. Skip it and pick up the beautiful ones by her instead. Unsatisfying twist, but it'll hold your attention. Yes, yes. From a person who doesn't usually love this genre. Not Tart's best but good if you like dark academia. Mediocre at best, had to drag myself through. Are these popular BookTok books worth it? Part 14. Love, love, love her books. All so spicy, and her characters are a chef's kiss. This one enemies to lovers. Nash plus a little white dog? Swooning, I love the broody wounded hero type in a small town. The first book was great, and so were the second and third, a trilogy worth staying for. It's cute, and you can read it in a day, but I wouldn't run to get it. I did a reread on audio and must say, best audiobook I've ever listened to. It made me like the book more, so did Sam Claflin as Billy.
These are some of the books I would recommend to 12 to 15-year-olds. If you're older than 12 to 15, like I am, you can still read these books. I'm just saying they're appropriate, in my opinion, for 12 to 15-year-olds. Number 1, Daughter of the Pirate King. I don't read fantasy, yet I read this. It was so good. So if you didn't guess, it's about the daughter of the Pirate King. He's a king, but he's also a pirate. Who knew? And she goes on an adventure. And of course, there's romance in it. Don't be silly. Okay, then we have the Confession of a Shopaholic series. I've only got this Christmas one with me, but I used to love these books. Oh my goodness me. When I was in secondary school, this was literally all that I read. And if you like the first Confessions of a Shopaholic book, there is a film version, which you can watch. Funnily enough, I've just started reading this. It's called The Upside of Falling. And I kid you not I kid. This is literally the epitome of every single high school rom-com, just all mixed together and put in this book. It's the most stereotypical high school rom-com-esque type vibe that I've ever read before in my life. Then we have the Inheritance games, which, to be completely honest with you, I actually didn't like. I got like 60% in it and then it just got really boring. But a lot of people really like this, so I say give it a go. Oh, then the Selection series. That's a good one. Read the Selection series. Only the first 3 though, because the last 2 were Then we have I'd tell you I love you, but then I'd have to you. But I think Ali Carter. I think it's like a series, and I used to love them. It's like a spy kind of series. Again, literally used to love these when I was in secondary school. Don't get me wrong, I haven't read it since secondary school, and that was a long time ago. So if someone's read it recently and you like it, tell me, or if you don't like it, tell me. I want opinions, please. And then One of Us is Lying. I think it's like a mystery. From what I remember, it's a mystery. It has like a hint of romance, which I was gripping onto, but the romance is definitely not at the forefront of the book. It's kind of just weaved in there every so often. Oh, and then you've got your typical ones, Maze Runner, Divergent, Hunger Games, but we all knew that.
I have read almost every single book written by Colleen Hoover, so I thought it'd be fun to rank them from worst to best and telling you guys what I thought. There are a couple books that are left off this list. Some I do plan to read, some I know I'm not going to read. The main one that's not on this list is Hopeless, and I do plan on reading that. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to read any of the ones she has out already. Just a little disclaimer, I know there are some controversial opinions about Colleen Hoover. This video is not about her, this is just about what I thought about the books. There are 12 books sitting here, and coming dead last in 12th place is Maybe Someday. I read this one after I read most of the others, and honestly, I just didn't like it. It was pretty boring to me, and it felt like a very slow-paced story. Coming in 11th place is Without Merit. This one, just so many things about it felt out of pocket, I don't know. Really wasn't a huge fan of this one either. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. A lot of people are going to be mad about this next one. 10th place is Ugly Love. Don't get me wrong, it was still good. I read this book in one sitting. But honestly, just compared to her others, I didn't like it as much. I know this is like a fan favorite of everyone's, but to me the characters were just so boring. I don't know, that's my unpopular opinion. Ninth place was It Starts With Us. Also unpopular opinion, I enjoyed this more than I think most people did. As a standalone book, yes, it wouldn't be very good, but considering all the setup we had in the first book, I thought this was a pretty good follow-up sequel book. Next place we have All Your Perfects. And I know it's somehow connected to Hopeless and there's like a bunch of little novellas. I'm not gonna read the novellas. So maybe I would have enjoyed it better if I'd read Hopeless first because I always hear people say you should do that. It also could just be because I have like no understanding of what they're going through in this book. But I don't know, it just felt a little bit depressing to me and very, I don't want to say boring, but kind of boring. I did still enjoy it though and I liked the characters. Next we have my most recent Colleen Hoover read, Confess. Again, it wasn't great, it wasn't terrible, I liked it, but there was just others I liked a lot more than this one. So I have my top 7 left sitting over here, but I'm gonna have to make a part 2 to go through all of those. Bye guys.
These are all the books that I read in one sitting. The criteria for reading a book in one sitting, it has to have a really fast plot and it has to have really good and easy writing. So if that's what you're looking for, then this video is for you. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, not to beat it at a horse or anything, but we're going to talk about Lynn Painter again, specifically her YA stuff. These two I read in one sitting, and by one sitting, I mean like start to finish throughout the middle of the night. I sat my ass down and I read these books, and I didn't do anything else or look at anyone else. And when I closed the book, I was like, oh, it's morning now. Like, that's what these books do to me, okay? They're so cute and perfect, and the plot is so fast. They're YA, obviously, so they're really quick to read. And these are like my favorites ever. I gave them both 5 stars. Okay, next we have Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. I read both of these in one day, and not like both of them in the same day, but like both of them in their own day, you know? These are fantasy, but they're really light and easy fantasy. There's not a lot of world building, so that made the story really easy to just jump right on into. The plot moves so fast, the story never gets boring or drags on anywhere, and these are just like the cutest love stories. Jax is to die for. He's one of my favorite book boyfriends ever. You will love him if you read these. I highly recommend them, especially if you are just getting into fantasy. This is a really good place to start. Okay, another duology that I never ever talk about is It Happens One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker. I don't own It Happens One Summer, but I read these both in one day, and they're just like really quick and easy. Did I love them? No, but I didn't hate them. I actually have no idea what I rated them. I really did not love It Happened One Summer, but I really liked this one for some reason. I don't know why everyone loves the first one more than this one. I actually like this one a lot more. I think I gave these like 3.5 or something, but yeah, they're just like so fast. Something about them is just really addicting, and I don't know why. Okay, I know everyone doesn't actually like Addicted to You like the first one. They say it gets better as the series goes on, but I personally love this one. And it just holds a really special place in my heart. I remember vividly sitting down and reading this and like in one sitting, opening it and closing it like 5 hours later. I recommend if you're reading this to really appreciate this book if you're starting this series, because meeting these characters for the first time is something I will never forget. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I read A Court of Thorns and Roses in one day also, and it kind of like confuses me when people say this is really slow, because I did not have that experience at all. I flew through ACOTAR and A Court of Mist and Fury in one day. Like, seriously blew through them faster than I've ever read anything before in my entire life. And there's like a little bit of world building, so it's kind of like impressive to me that I was able to do that. I love these books. They're so quick and easy, and again, I know that everyone talks about ACOTAR, but I really think you should read them if you're getting into fantasy. Okay, I can't believe I didn't mention this first, but the next is Love in Other Words, and this was the first book that I ever read front to back in one sitting. This is one of my favorite love stories ever. This and Beach Read are like the OGs for me, okay? When someone like in my life asks me what book should I read, I'm trying to get into reading, I'm like, okay, Beach Read and Love in Other Words. So those are the OGs. I'm gonna recommend them to every single human on this earth. Alternating timelines, and it's just the cutest thing ever, okay? So go read it. I read Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson in one day, and that's just because this is the cutest, most amazing story ever. Oh my gosh, I wish this was like the book of this year alongside Divine Arrivals and Fourth Wing. This should be up there, okay? This is just beautiful, and it's not a romance, but it's an adventure story. It's fantasy, and if you want to get into Brandon Sanderson, you should really read this. This is one of my favorites. I gave it 4.75 stars. Tress is one of my favorite female protagonists written in a story ever. I just love her, and you should really read this, okay? Because I devoured it in one day. Every single book video I do, I'm just like itching to mention Magnolia Parks, and of course I had to mention it in this one too, because I did read this in one day. This was, if there's anything in this world that I want you to associate with me, It is this series. It is this book. I'm getting this whole entire book tattooed on my body. I'm not even kidding. I'm just gonna like cover all of my flesh with Jessa Hastings words because that's the least that she deserves for giving me the story and these characters. And I just like can't even talk about Magnolia Park because like I just get all flustered and like giggly and I can't even do it. Let me know what tattoos I should get for this book because I'm gonna get a tattoo dedicated to the series. I probably am gonna wait till after Into the Dark comes out, which yes, I did see that, and yes, I'm freaking out. I got like a DM from someone saying, oh my gosh, did you see that Into the Dark, like, that Jessa Hastings announced the title? And I was like, first of all, thank you for like thinking of me when that came out because yes, I did see that, and yes, I cried myself to sleep because I'm so excited. Magnolia Parks, I read it in one day. Okay, those are all the books. Thank you for watching. Mwah.
So I just found out apparently I'm colorblind. Don't know how long that's been going on for, but man, I tell you what, shocked me too. Came right out of the purple. Tiny cock, which is accurate. His name is Winston. He's my favorite. And though I have a tiny cock, at least I've got a huge penis.